some of the boards are from the original little carriage house. We scrubbed and used them for the ceiling. But we won actually an award from Historic Preservation for this.
Nice.
Because usually when there's a little building on a farm property, people destroy it. But we changed this one into our office.
Nice.
So I am Linda Strauss, and I'm a founder of Homefields. But this story isn't about me. This story is about my daughter Lisa, who lives in the ranch house. And Lisa has intellectual and developmental disabilities, or I should say developmental differences. She is now 53 years old, and the journey to be to this day started when she was 16. Lisa has two brothers, and they were all born within 1 year of one another. Her brothers are a year and 2 years her senior. And so Lisa always was part of the family, and we did things together, and Lisa always assumed that she would have a life as her brothers did, not really appreciating that she had barriers that she indeed was facing. And my sons had an old Volvo 444 that they were restoring in the garage, took it down to the metal, repainted it, restored it, and Lisa watched the process. And then they got a permit and they drove away. And one day, Lisa and I were sitting in the car, and she asked me when would she be able to drive. And that was my bolt of lightning. That struck me, that was the catalyst. And I thought, oh, how do I tell Lisa? She doesn't have the rite of passage that her brothers have.
Aurora out in the Churchill, polar bears, all those type of things. And they're not cheap. I started working at Homefield for last year. That would be 2022. Yeah, so I was happy. I heard it from my mom, also from Brad, that he was doing here, and we kind of did bowling. We kind of heard it from them. That's how we heard about this job. Yeah, I'll try it. Try it. This place is awesome. It's like wonderful to me. I love it. I was enjoying it. Something peaceful, quiet, instead of something noisy. I wasn't much of a farmer. I wasn't much of a gardener or anything. But I know my mom was a part of the farm group. She was kind of that. She was like tobacco stuff, that one of the gardening, and she did all that. She told me about that. It was hard work, she told me. And now when I do this is hard work. Like this hard work. You gotta get on your knees and you gotta get all dirty like what I am right now. It's pretty cool.
So right now we are planting various greens. These are going to be greens that will come up quickly, and they're for the CSA. So we will have some kale in there, and also some other greens that are a little bit less common, like Tokyo Bacana and bok choy. Yeah, so we have a CSA, which is a community-supported agriculture, is what it stands for. And so we have people that come every week and they pick up a box of produce. And so while Homefields is a care farm, we are also doing this service for the community where people can come and pick up produce if they are part of our CSA.
I'd say a really significant relationship that stuck out to me has been with one of our volunteers who comes and just absolutely loves growing things, planting things. He always has seeds in his pockets. He's always super enthusiastic to be here. And from what I hear in school from his teachers, that he doesn't really have that experience at school at all. He doesn't really open up. He's really reserved, and so they see a whole different side of him when he's here. And before he left, he asked to take pictures with me and was just so excited to come and be here and be a part of it. And he found a passion that he didn't know he had here, and that was so interesting because it's a passion that I share, and so to be able to share that with somebody and kind of light a fire for somebody else was really. It was a really neat process to see and partake in, for sure. I've worked on farms for about 10 years, ever since college. So I've been around a lot of different farms in very different contexts. I served in the Peace Corps in Nepal, and I worked with subsistence farmers there for 2 years. I've worked in community gardens, community education programs, a few different small-scale, large-scale farms. So I've seen a lot of different types of farms, and this is definitely a really unique one. Here, our primary focus isn't efficiency of production or creating a product as rapidly as possible. We're very much process focused. And so rather than trying to keep a certain pace or being absolutely focused on squeezing every dollar out of every minute, working here is all about finding people's value and helping encourage that value. And that's our primary product. The produce is absolutely secondary, and we produce really great, high quality, healthy produce, but that's an afterthought. The primary focus is the experience that we create for people who are often turned away by the rest of society.
Well, the only way you can become a part of Homefields would be, as far as the homes are concerned, if one of the people, a person has a home for life, unless there's something exceptional happens in their life. That's home for life. So there's more people cannot move into the homes unless a room becomes empty, and that's the only way another person can come. We can't build. The township wouldn't allow us to build another house on this property, so we couldn't have. We couldn't provide for more than the 2 homes we have. Township that's a restriction that we must meet. And everybody who comes to the farm, they're welcome. Again, our farm hands are paid. They're not volunteers. So if for more farm hands to be employed here, we would have to have that money to pay for employees, and that's the difficulty.
So how has the experience of just creating Homefields basically changed you as a person, do you think?
Well, that's really impossible to say, because life happens to you. I have different facets, and this is one facet. And I don't know if it's changed me or it's an extension of me, maybe. Well, again, to me, my heart's with the homes, and seeing Victor carry out that rug and saying, we're working, and he was creating a home of his own. That was, to me, what wonderful. Things at the farm happen every day. That's terrific. And I can't pick out one day and saying that's more incredible than the next. A lot of good things are happening here every day, and there's that gratification. I mean, I think right now we have Andrew and Julian. They're new and they're so diverse. I mean, Julian's a concert pianist. The diversity of it all is new beginnings. I think there's always a new beginning here. I think there's that. Andrew said to me about putting the pieces of the puzzle together, and I said I hope that he never gets it together. Because Homefields is a living thing. And I never want it to be finished. I always want it to be changing and growing. And it's beautiful because so much of community have come and brought their ideas. And that's why it's so grand.